Hello guys, welcome to OPPAYA, your one-stop shop for K-pop and Asian dramas. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Let's get started. Revolutionary Sisters, last episode, episode 50, part 1. Cholsu takes Guangnam to a lake and tells her that her dad's ashes were scattered over there. She asks him if he was a bad guy and he tells her that he isn't. He tells her that she's his eldest daughter no matter what and hugs her. She thanks him for giving her a good life. At home, Cholsu takes out a paper from his diary and visits Byunho. He reminds him of his friend and tells, for the sake of his eldest daughter, his friend wants to run a retrial of her birth father as he was framed and put in jail, and gives him the proof. Byunho tells him to tell his friend to be at ease as he will handle his case now. Chosu tells him that his friend will be at some ease after this and leaves from there. At home, Bongja wishes Guangnam to believe that her dad is dead. She reminds Cholsu that her birth father will be out now, and what if he visits Guangnam, which worries Cholsu. Daichan gives an earful to Asil for treating Guangxik badly and running behind Byul, and tells him to get on his knees and beg. Dolce tells Guangxik that Asil's newly found fame might have got into his head and tells her to forgive him this once, and if he repeats this, he himself will disown him, and gives her some jewelry. At home, Asil cooks spaghetti for Guangxik and tries to convince her by apologizing. She asks him to be honest and tell why he was so excited to meet Byul when she never saw such excitement in his eyes for her. He tells that Guangxik changed after their wedding and started to count gift money on their wedding night and worried about their future as he doesn't earn well, and tells how her too much of realisticness hurt him so bad. He tells how being too much realistic can make couples grow apart and asks why can't they be less realistic, immature, and more romantic. He then calls Pure and tells her not to text him because he loves his wife so much, and he then lifts her and takes her into their bedroom. Guangte clicks pictures for the baby's diary and sticks him on the baby diary. Kijin comes there singing and she asks him to sing for their baby, and he happily sings Three Bears. He later gets a call and speaks in English. When Guangte asks him who is that, he tells that it's not necessary as it's related to business, and she feels sad because he looks down on her because she doesn't speak English and she doesn't understand it. Girls meet at the restaurant to decide on their dad's wedding. Guangte offers to lease them a house and later they can buy a house for them, and they all agree. At Bongja's house, Cholsu tells them not to hold any kind of wedding, but Yonghi tells them that she would love to wear a wedding dress, and they all agree on holding a wedding for them. At Yonghi's place, all the three daughters thanks her for accepting their father, and she tells them not to thank her because she loves Cholsu and she's happy that they accepted her, and all the four of them holds hands together being thankful to each other. Cholsu tells Dolce that he is worried for him and that his kids decided to lease a house for him. Dolce tells him that he will not move out with him and he will go to another basement room and won't follow Cholsu cause it will be third wheeling. Dolce is cleaning in front of Bongja's house and she brings him some multigrain drink. There she spots his pendant chain and she takes out her chain and joins the lockets. It's a half moon. She then asks him if he can stay over there at Cholsu's place and not to move out, but he says that what will people think about if he stays and leaves from there, upsetting her. At Gongche's restaurant, women think Tenje is Gongche's mum and she feels sad, but he proudly introduces himself as her hubby. They ask him about their age difference and he happily tells that they are 28 years apart and she is his first love, and they also have a 7-year-old kiddo, which makes them happy and also jealous. Tuggi called Sachi to her school to brag to her classmates. One of her classmates feels jealous seeing how Tuggi's dad and uncle look like her older brothers while her dad looks so old. Tuggi wantedly forgets her bag and her teacher runs out to give it to her. As soon as Sachi sees her, he falls for her. Tuggi then falls down wantedly and makes them touch their hands. Tengja tells to Bongja how Tuggi set up Sachi with her teacher, and now that he's head over heels in love with her, he doesn't bother her. Bongja tells sometimes she doubts Tuggi's age. Tengja tells her that she brought Tuggi to her house as she wants to sleep with her. Tuggi tells that she's giving some space to her mum and dad and sends her off telling to Be careful and not to trip and fall down on her way back home. Bongja happily smiled, saying, "It looks like both mom and daughter switched their places." Tuggi later asks Bongja why doesn't she marry and tells how her mom's life turned good after having her. Bongja tells her that it's not in her fate and looks at the pendant sadly. At home, Tengja thanks Gongche for speaking up for her at the restaurant in the morning. He tells her that she should be brave and she should speak up and happily tell that he is her husband and they both get romantic. Cholso and Young Hee come from a date and she tells him that he snored in the theater. He asks if she will hate him if he snores and she tells him that how her friend can't sleep if her hubby doesn't snore and maybe she will also be like that. Cholso asks her if they could move into her room and not out as he can't leave Dolce behind and she happily agrees to it. He then holds her hand and thanks her and then bids bye. She then stops him. Dolce sees Cholse's cheeks with red lipstick marks and bets $10 that he just did not watch movie and he did much more. He then takes Cholsu to the washroom and shows him his face. Cholsu embarrassedly comes out and wipes the kiss marks while Dolce keeps on teasing him over the kisses. That's it with today's video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't subscribed, do subscribe and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video. Until then, tata, bye bye, take care.